Yeah, I hope you guys are good. Welcome back. Yeah, as I promised, that I will be coming back uh, with a story. And the reason why I do this from time to time is because I want to constantly remind people that what you always see on social media is not the actual reality. And the lavish lifestyles that you always see on social media, the behind the scenes, the behind the scenes for those type of lifestyles, they should always remind you that life is caring. I don't know, but yeah, life is not what you always expect it to be. Besides you being motivated and all that nonsense, okay, not nonsense, but yeah, and all that, those fleshy lifestyles that you see, there's always pain behind. And I constantly need to remind you guys that you should always remember that we were not born, or basically I was not born knowing what I know or having what I have. You understand? I've been through a lot. So, as I stated before, that I'm writing a book about my life and all that. Uh, so this is part zero, basically, like the introduction and all that. The introduction, like from start and all that. So unfortunately, this live video is live. You can only watch it live. I'm not going to save it afterwards. Please understand my decision. So, as I'll be starting, uh, now I'm talking to you guys as Kgopotso Mmutlane, you know, Kgopotso Mmutlane, not coach. The story that I will be sharing with you guys has nothing to do with coach, but it has everything to do with Kgopotso, because that was the build up into becoming coach. You understand? Because one thing I hate the most is to have so many followers on social media who don't even know what they are following or who they are following. You understand? So, in case you don't know, this will put clarity to so many things. Because not knowing or understanding who you're following ends up giving you wrong impressions about people. For example, when you come to my timeline and you see these nice cars and nice lifestyle, and automatically the first thing which comes to your mind is, this guy is bragging. That's going to be the first thing if you don't know. But if you know, the first thing that's going to come to your mind, you know that this guy is actually celebrating, because I've been posting when I was poor. So I won't stop posting even now. I've been posting when I was poor. It's just that nobody was watching. As you know, life, nobody is watching when you have nothing. They only wanna see when you have something. And then when they see that you have something, they're starting to follow you and plan and wait for your downfall. Unfortunately, some of us, the God that we pray does not wear a trouser. The God that we pray does not ask for tithe every Sunday from people. The God that I pray is a true God. Whatever that you might wish on me is going to come on to you and your family. I'm telling you, it's not a joke. That's the kind of God I pray. But nonetheless, I hope everyone who's watching is watching from a good point of view and not vice versa. So basically, I would like to believe that I was actually conceived. Conceived simply means that a sexual intercourse took place. By the way, I'm that stupid whereby I'll be disclosing almost all details. I believe it's 2 a.m. right now and kids are sleeping. If you are here, you must be an adult. So I believe that I was conceived in 1994, right? Conceived in 1994 when apartheid just ended, you know. Unfortunately, I couldn't see anything or remember anything. So my parents had sex in 1994. Since I was born in May, that simply means that they probably had sex just around maybe like August, I think. Yeah, like August, I think. Yeah. And then the way my mom tells me is that when I was still inside her stomach, I used to be playful, kicking and all that like other kids. And she didn't have much of cravings. She didn't have much cravings when she was carrying me, the way she puts it, you know. And even me personally, I don't remember being in my mother's stomach and hungry. I don't remember being hungry, in her stomach. I don't even remember anything. Life is funny. I don't even remember a single little thing. So, my mom, obviously, poverty, Limpopo conditions, poverty. And she said that I was not planned. To put it correct, I'm a mistake, I was not planned. I'm a mistake. Now, this simply means that if had it been modern times like now, I think I would have been aborted, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with people who are abort kids or do things like that. Just in case you're watching and you've done an abortion, I'm not referring to you. Don't feel guilty. However, but I was a mistake. A mistake simply means that my mom says that she didn't know that she was gonna fall pregnant, And it's funny because how can you have sex and not know that you might fall pregnant? Like, I don't get it though. I'm like, but obviously, most of us we are mistakes, in a sense. Our parents didn't plan us. You understand? Our parents didn't plan us, but as soon as they found out that we are here or we are there, they kept us. We should always be thankful for that, because we could have been aborted easily. And shout out to our parents for not using condoms, because if they used condoms, we wouldn't be here. So, mommy, thank you. Thank you a lot. You're motivating me. So yeah, I mean, 1+1 happened, and she said that she was actually working throughout carrying me as her first son, with depression, family. She was about 19 years old, I think. Family, they were judging her, external family members were constantly reminding my mom and my grandmother at that time, because obviously the father was automatically poor. The father was not ready to have a kid. He was automatically poor. That's just life. Which is why you must always plan to have kids, to avoid your kids having to suffer here. So my mom was pushing, she was working, and family was constantly saying, how is sorry, how's my mom going to take care of me? Because we are poor, you know. They wanted to see, like they wanted to see, how is she gonna raise me, you know? As much as we love family, but sometimes I feel like these external families, they're our greatest enemies. Like they are more dangerous than people who write a bad tweet about you on social media. I think family is much more dangerous than what you think, you know. So yeah, they were saying want to see how she's gonna raise this child, you know. But God has his own ways, honestly. I mean, God has his own ways. Throughout the pregnancy of not having health care, not going to checkups regularly, the way she says it, she was just eating spinach pap almost every day, and cabbage, potatoes every day. She hardly went to checkups, clinics, everything. But I survived somehow. I survived with just that inside her stomach, you know. And I'll forever be grateful for that, you know, because I naturally, you know, we always thank our moms more than our fathers, because the father does one thing only, and that is just to come inside. Then they have a choice to leave or a choice to stay. But they are not really forced to stay. They can easily leave, trust me. But a mom can actually never leave you. That's just the truth. So, towards 8 months, toward, towards 8 months, just about a month before I was born, she went to a checkup, you know, just to see how far I am into coming to earth. Remember, I didn't know anything at that time, you know. So when she was at the clinic, there was this family that we know of. And my mom is telling me these things now. There was this family which said to her that, what were you thinking? What were you thinking making a child where else you know you are poor? You know, now you're about to give birth, you can't even afford pampers. Even at that time, there were no pampers. There was no pampers at that time. Never berekisa, they were using what we call malairi. Malairi, it's like a cloth. It's like a cloth, so like yeah, it used to be cloth. Yeah, something like I wouldn't say a dress, but like a cloth, yeah. So they were telling my mom, this other family of ours, that how is she gonna take care of me? Because the father is broke, poor, you are poor as well, but here you are. But obviously, she just kept on praying that something will come up, you know. Now, when I was born on the 17th of May, 1995, when I was born, I was actually born around, the way she tells me, around 2 to 3 a.m. in the morning. I was born around 2 to 3 a.m. in the morning. And there was this family. You know, life. Life is something else. There was this family which was financially stable, right? And what they did is that they bought packs of malaria. When I say malaria, I'm referring to a synonym for pampers. They used to use malaria back in the days. They bought like packs, right? And one of the families, the members in that family, which was stable, which was related to us, they had enough to give my mom something, but they didn't, you know. And then my grandmother, the way she says it, she came to the hospital with her old clothes. You know, my grandmother used to do this sewing things. She had these machines, sewing and everything. So what she did, she took all her old clothes, and then she turned them into Maleri. She turned them into nappies. Yes. Yeah, that's the right word I was looking for that word. Thank you, Tsepo, for that word. Yeah, nappies, diapers. So she turned her old clothes into diapers or nappies, right? Just so that I could have something to wear from the hospital. Ne? Okay, fine. My granny came with those things and then they covered me and all that. I was happy. When I say I was happy, I don't mean I remember that I was happy. No, I simply mean that they say I was healthy, much more healthier, as if my mom was eating the yogurt or these nice things, but she was just eating cabbage and pap and potatoes almost every day. That's why I don't want to eat cabbage. Even today, I don't eat cabbage because I've eaten cabbage 9 months inside my mother's stomach. So I can never eat cabbage again. Never. I'm tired. So when it was time to go home, then the other family, which was financially stable, they had a car. They came in and then they fetched them. And then my grandmother asked for leave. For lift, I mean, And then they said that they are not going home. Where else it was a lie. They were going home. And then when it was time for me to go home finally, my mom and my grandmother were forced to walk from the clinic. I was actually born in a clinic, not hospital. So they walked till they got home. They walked covering me with this warm things. I was wearing t-shirts and diapers. I'm a kid, man. I didn't know anything. I didn't know anything. It was not my fault that things were that way. Now, when we got home, my grandmother used to heal small children. These small children who have problems with. There's this thing here, this problem which small babies usually have. There's a color change on the, what do you call this? Yeah, whatever you call this. Yeah. So she used to do that. Then a few days I started having that problem, and then my grandmother healed me. She healed me, and then that's when my life was starting now. And the way my grandmother puts it is that she's the one who was actually taking care of me better than my mom, because my mom had to go to work, right? And then my mom, at that time where she was working, she said that she was earning about, I think it was around about 15 rand, not more than 20 rands, where she was working. I don't remember what she was doing, but she was earning about not more than 20 rands, you know. So my grandmother used to take care of me, and she says that I was never really a crybaby. I was not the type to cry and all that. Nah, I was not the type. So as time went by, I started developing like babies, like normal babies. And the other family, they had a child who's, I would say, is almost same age as me, living the life, making fun of the state that we were at that time, and these are the things which constantly remind me that it's very, 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 very important to never change who you are, It's very important to never change who you are, because once you change who you are, you start losing yourself, And once you start losing yourself, that's where you start changing on people and all those things, Now, time went by and I reached 1 year. On my first birthday, My mom, I don't know how she did it, but she made me a party. I still have the photos back home, you know. She made me a party without having money to make a party, just to celebrate my 1 year. She did that, you know. And it was nice, I guess, even though I don't really remember what was happening, but yeah, it was nice and all that. And then now I had to go through the road of going to crash. Now I had to start going to crash now, you know. And going to crash, I only have like a memory then there, not the entire thing, but according to how my mom puts it, like during 1 year, between 1 and 4 years, I was actually smart, you know, like I could pick up things very very much easily, you know, very very much easily. And she says that the way I used to love school when I was at crash, it's the total opposite of what I think about school right now. And then she doesn't understand uh, how it came about, you know. But yeah, so uh, when I was turning 5 years, I'm not sure if it was four towards year end or if it was five. I'm not sure, I remember. But I graduated. Now, graduating simply means that now I'm going to grade one. Now I went to grade one at this other primary school in Mmutlane. Now there I have memories there and there, not the entire thing. Uh, First of all, I obviously I didn't have school shoes. I didn't have proper shoes for going to school. I was wearing whatever that I was wearing at that time. A uniform I did have then there, you know, and then I didn't have a school bag, so we were using you see, testic rice. You see, when you buy testic rice, the one for 10 kg or something along those lines, we were using something like that. The designs were a bit different than what they are now, you know. So I was using that to carry, and then obviously at that time there are kids at school who are using nice bags, you know, they're wearing proper shoes, you know. Coming to think of it, yes, coming to think of it, it looks like everybody who was eating life from birth till adulthood, everything now has changed. And then those who were struggling from birth till adulthood, now they're starting to enjoy life. You know, I don't understand how this life thing works, you know, because honestly speaking, it's not like it was their fault that their families had money. You can't really blame them that they were living life because Lebanon, they were born into a rich family. It's, you know, but it's like all the families that were rich back in the days, now they are poor. And then families which were poor back in the days, now they are rich. It gets very confusing at times, you know? But I guess it's the balance of life, I guess. So, along this, if you are still poor right now, just know that someday, some year, only God knows, things will change. We just don't know when. But obviously, things don't just change. You need to do something about it. You know, you need to do something about it. But yeah, so I started going to primary, you know. So in primary, that's when I actually started. If I were to tell you guys that I was actually fat, like really fat, you guys wouldn't believe it, you know. So primary, like immediately when I went to grade one, my grandmother says now I started gaining weight, of which when I was born very healthy. In Limpopo, when we say a baby is healthy, we simply mean that the baby was born fat already, you know, because when a baby is born as a slender, in Limpopo, we take that as if the baby is not healthy. And sometimes it's not that, it's just the nature of the baby maybe. So I was a bit chubby when I was born, and then I got fat. Like from grade 1, grade R, I mean, I got fat. I was eating a lot of pap and spinach. That's why I don't eat spinach. Even today, I was telling my chef the other day, chef put in spinach, and I told him to remove it very nicely and take it back to the pot. I don't eat spinach. Hi, Gabine people. I've been eating spinach from 0 years to 21 years. Hi, Gabi. Eating nice food is just what I want to do now. I'm tired of spinach. I don't eat spinach. I Gabi. Because I was eating spinach because I didn't have a choice. Every day spinach, morogo, every day. Hi. Yelena, you guys are lucky. You eat potatoes as chips. We used to eat potatoes as seshebu, as the potato. You see the potato that you see, it used to be meat back in the days. Every day, Monday to Friday, it's potatoes. Then Saturday, Sunday, spinach. And then when there are visitors, that's when you can actually eat chicken. You can eat chicken once a month or once every 3 months. And the chicken that you eat is not really a chicken. It's like a human chicken. A human chicken. It's the hardest chicken ever. So we were trained to even know how to chew bones at an early age with small teeth. I'm sure I used to break a bone because, chickens in Limpopo, it's like chickens in Limpopo, it's like they are using Herbalife products. Like they have muscles, they are tough. It's like they are training. They are not soft like the chickens that you are eating now. So that's what we call it hard body. So you eat hard body one. That was the best meal ever. And then occasionally we'd eat wild animals like rabbit. Rabbit, you would eat it once a year or once every 6 months, And then sometimes when things went well, you would eat a fish. And the fish is not hake. The fish is called babor. Babor, you find it in the river. You see where these dangerous animals stay in the river. Yeah, so they used to get those fishes, those black fishes. I'm sure we were not supposed to eat those things. I'm sure Corona started with those things, but we just didn't know that it was Corona because there was no science which was controlling the universe at that time. We were eating things, people. Now, during my early years, grade 1, grade 2, I was abused. I was abused by the atmosphere of the society. The atmosphere of the society. I don't know if I brought the abuse onto myself or not. But here is how I used to be. In my life, I used to be interested in hanging around cool kids, Hanging around cool kids, meaning that those kids, by Lengkore, I know they come from well-balanced families. I used to want to hang out with them, right? Meaning that from grade 1 when I went to primary, most of my friends were from good families. Their parents were working nice. They had cars in their families. So it was only me who was actually poor, And you know what that means? Now, it simply means that when they want to abuse, you are the first person they will start with. Because you got nothing. You got nothing and all that, But it's fine. So I was being abused in a sense. I was the most mocked child ever. Whenever they wanna test anything, whether it's testing if a playful gun is working, they would test it on me. For anything illegal or anything bad, they would use me. Whenever they want to send someone to buy food, they would send me, right? And at that time, it's only now that I realized, actually, this was abuse. And my son is not going to go through that shit. I want my son to go to school with a Bentley so that nobody is going to take him for granted, you know? And at that time, I was happy. I was what we call an ice boy. You see those ice boys? Yeah, your boyfriends. Some of you boys are ice boys. Your rich friends are sending you to buy ice. A little thing. So I was an ice boy. Now, that's just how I got to develop this unique character. This unique character of having to humble myself to get what I want. I want you guys to understand. I used to go through that because I told myself that I'm going to humble myself. Literally, I would do each and everything anybody would ask me to do just for the sake of me getting what I want. Meaning that I actually didn't have pride. I took pride and I put it aside. And then I guess that was part of my nature, I guess, you know? Fine. Now, there was a time when I was doing grade 2. When I was doing grade 2, there was a time in primary whereby this rich kids that I was hanging around with. Remember, I was the only one who was poor amongst the group. I don't remember, but I think there were like 4 or 5 of them. I was the only one. So this other time they took me, and I remember they said, I was hungry, you know. This other one had apple, right? And then he said, if I want the apple, I must do whatever they want me to do, you know. And I was really hungry at that time, you know, because I never really got what you call carrying money, you know. Carrying money, it's the money that they give you when you go to school. I never really had that in my life. Well, maybe at least until when I went to high school, yeah, things were starting to be a bit better. So they said that if I want the apple, I must actually get naked in front of the whole class. But here is how it happened. There were, you know, during break time, all the boys would leave the class and only girls would eat inside the class, because after eating, girls have a habit of cleaning up after their mess. Unlike us, right now we don't clean up after our mess. That's why we were not allowed to eat in class, you know. So they said, let's go to the class where it's filled with girls, and then you must get naked in front of them so that they can see your dick. Then after they've seen your dick, then you can have the apple. You see, I know this might mean nothing to you or it might seem stupid, but I calculated it. I was like, okay, if I get naked in front of these girls, they will laugh at me. But I'm hungry at the same time. What should I do? I'm like, you know what? I'm going to swallow my pride and be an ice boy. Then I did as they wanted, you know. I got naked in front of the class and girls laughed at me. Luckily, there were no phones. Luckily, you know. And then after I got naked, they laughed at me and all that. And then they gave me the apple. And then I ate. You know, I ate. And then I got what I wanted. You know, which, coming to think of it now, it's funny, the truth. That's just the truth, guys. You can't have pride when you're broke. You can't have pride when you're poor. I'm going to repeat. You can't really have pride when you're broke, or you can't really have pride when you're poor. Sometimes you must know that you are being abused, but for the sake of you having to get what you want, sometimes you just have to put that pride aside, you know? Because honestly speaking, people can only help you if they benefit. Now, if you want help from someone else, even me personally, if you come to me and say, Coach, help me, I'm going to ask you, what will I get? If I'm not getting anything, then I'm not going to help you. But if you say, Coach, help me, I'm going to wash your car, even though you have pride, you can't wash a car. You have pride, but so that you can so if washing my car simply means you're gonna get what you want, let it be. I mean, what's the use of having pride while you are poor? Where else you could swallow that pride for a certain period of time to get what you want. Once you get what you want, all those people who made you do these things, they will shit on themselves. Just like they're shitting on themselves right now as we speak. Some of them, they don't even have the nerve to greet me. When they see me coming, they run because they know how they used to treat me. That's just life. That's the best revenge ever, So yeah, I ate the apple, and life continued. Now, problem was that at that time I was starting to be a laughing stock in school. People used to laugh at me that I'm that guy who got naked in front of girls, my dick is small, such things. They damage your confidence as a kid, and it's regarded as emotional abuse. And I didn't have a brother because I was the only son to my mom, and I couldn't report it to anyone. So I just kept it inside me for the longest time ever. So from grade 2, I was praying that, God, please take me out of this school. Like I wanted a new school because of that, and other things which I forgot. Oh, I remember this other incident. There was a Jojo, a Jojo tank behind the school. A Jojo tank behind the school. So the Jojo tanks, they are always opened on top. So a bat fell inside. A bat, that thing which witches use. There's a bat, and there's this other one with big eyes. We call it liribishi in our culture. I don't know what you call it in English, but yeah, that thing has fallen inside the Jojo tank, and the same group of boys or friends that I used to hang around with, they made me drink the water. Yeah, it's an owl. Thank you guys. An owl fell inside, and they made me drink the water. And I drank the water, people. And after that, they would tell the whole school about it. I'm that stupid guy. So I couldn't defend myself. When you're poor, ne? When you're poor, already you undermine yourself personally. You don't even wait for people to undermine you. When you're poor, you just undermine yourself. So I was at that stage whereby, you know what, even if they say I must shit in public for me to get food or to get whatever, I would do it. And not everybody is like me. Let's understand that. Not everybody is like me. Some will say I'm stupid. Okay, it's fine. I'm stupid, but look at where I am today. So I would like to believe that I was actually being trained. From an early age. These little things, which were happening, I was being trained. So that's why I once said that if you wish to be me, and we agree that I'm going to give you my life for a day, most of you guys wouldn't handle it, Now, 2 years down the line, 2 years after, when I went to grade, I think it was around grade 4. So my mom, that was just around about 2000 and I think it was 2006, if I'm not mistaken. So my mom got a job. Ne? My mom got a job, and she got a job as a teacher. She didn't even qualify to become a teacher or to teach whatsoever. It was just luck, it was just luck. So she got a job. However, the job was not paying well, but there was one good thing that I loved about my mom's new job. It was that because where she was teaching, it was a primary school, a private primary school. They actually say that if you are a teacher there, you are allowed to bring at least a maximum of 2 children to study at the school for as long as it's your own children, and therefore they will not pay school fees. Then my mom told me that she got a job and she's going to be teaching at some school and so forth, and she wants me to move from public school to primary school. And I was super excited. She was worried that I was not going to be happy because of the Agariana. When she sees me, she hears me talking about these friends every day. I'm playing with them. She doesn't know what these friends make me do behind closed doors just because my family is not well respected in the hood or the community whatsoever. So she actually thought that I was not gonna be happy because of the bond that I have with friends. And then when she told me, I was fucking happy. I was happy because now I'm gonna move to a private school, new friends. Now, those people at the private school, they don't know my life. They don't know that I used to drink bad water or get naked in front of girls in the class just to get able because I was hungry at that time and all that. So, when I told the friends in the primary that my mom got a new job, she's gonna be a teacher, and I'm gonna be moving from this school. And then that's when they actually started treating me much better, because it was quite a big deal going from public school to private school at that time. The only thing they didn't know was that I didn't pay school fees because my mom was a teacher there. Now I went to study there, and that time my father decided that, you know what, I've been staying with my mom because he was staying with his mom at that time. I think it's high time I find my own place. So that's when they actually found a stand, and then in the stand they actually built a small shack, just a small shack. So when my mom moved to the new work, they took me along. Somara, we moved to a new home. So now I was no longer staying with my grandmother, like from 2006, middle 2006, I think. So I think it was around, yeah, somewhere there before June though. So I moved to a new home, which was, I would say, fully owned by my mom and dad. However, that was a shack. So that's how I got to start staying in a shack. Now, from 2006, now everything is looking to be in place. I think I was around about 11 years. Now I've had a problem. Around about that time. I was actually fat. Ne? I was actually fat around that time. And 2007, I fell extremely sick. Extremely sick, that my mom ended up thinking that maybe they are bewitching me because I moved from public school to private school, because obviously they didn't know that I moved there because of favors and so forth. And I started becoming sick, and people in the hood started talking, you know That was the time HIV, you remember HIV and AIDS, that was the time it was starting, around that time, So people were saying that I'm sick because I have HIV, and my mom was thinking that maybe they are bewitching me because of that and so forth. And it was very, very difficult, And my grandmother actually said that man, the reason why this child is losing weight, I think I have an idea. So my grandmother, that's when my grandmother took me to this other granny. She took me to this other granny. May her soul rest in peace. She took me to this other granny, and then this other granny found out, Hore, I have a problem, Like I had this hole here, like on my chest, like here. There was this hole. The hole was actually big enough that you can even pour water. Like here, you can actually pour water here. So my grandmother took me to this other granny, which she knew. And then this other granny diagnosed me the way she diagnosed me. I don't know. And then they found out I have what we call sebedi. It's a petty disease. And sebedi is not caused by anything specific. It's just one of those natural diseases, It's just one of those natural diseases. It's yeah, you can't really run away from. So what happens with the disease, the way she explained it, when you eat food, I don't know how it happens, but when you eat food, the disease will eat the food that you ate. After it has done eating the food that you ate, the disease will now eat you. Meaning that if you were chubby, you will start losing weight. You'll start losing weight and so forth, Now, the granny healed me. She did her rituals. She cut me with razors, put in some powders and all that, those traditional petty things. And she told me that I will never go back to the same size that I was before. Meaning that I will actually never be fat again, And then people in the hood didn't know about that. So they were saying that, unale 80, and so forth. People will always talk. I think I should have learned from that moment that people will always talk. Whether you are poor or you are rich, somebody always has something to say. So they were saying all those things. But at that time, I was staying in another place. I was staying in another hood, actually. So what they were saying at the village, because I was staying in a kasinyana, so a developing kasi, didn't really matter because I couldn't hear almost everything. So slowly I was fading away from that lifestyle. Things were becoming all right. Now, that was grade 7. Now, my mom was one of my teachers in grade 7. She was not that good in teaching because she never went to school for it, but she was one of the best teachers according to the principal, because she's a hard worker, she's a hard worker, that woman. So grade 7, I completed my grade 7 successfully. Now the weight, remember before I was chubby, so now I was no longer chubby or fat. Now I was just a slender. I was thin. It's just now that I'm starting to have these things here. But before, now it's happiness now, So, when I was going to grade 8, my mom noticed that there's a big difference from the Kgopotso that I was in primary in the public school, and the Kgopotso that I was after going to a private school, because now I would know how to speak English, And then when I was finishing my grade 7, going for grade 8, she didn't want me to go to to go to a public school, because you know how public schools are, She wanted me to go to a private school, but problem was that she didn't afford. That was her only worry. But you know, God has his own ways, people. So 2008, January, when my mom was supposed to go back to that school to teach, now she found a better job. Now, a better job doesn't mean that she will have money, but it's far much better than what was happening or what she had before. So she resigned at the school as a teacher and then she worked for this other new job. And then she told me that, you see, now that I got a new job, I can make a plan. I can't afford, but I can make a plan for you to study at a private school, a private secondary school. So, 2008, I went for my grade 8 at a private school. The name of the school, it's in Practicer. It's in Tlhatlole Science and Commercial College. I'm not sure if the school is still there or the principal for that matter. So she took me there. And then what she did was that she took a loan. She took a loan to cover school fees for the whole year. Therefore, she was paying the loan bit by bit during the course of the year. So she paid school fees for the whole year. So meaning that 2008, I never got to worry about paying school fees, you know. Then I started studying. Now, my grade 8 was quite interesting, you know. Grade 8, which was in 2008. You know, it was a new environment and all that, you know. But there was only one problem in grade 8. In my class, I was actually staying, you know, in grade 8, we used to share tables. So in grade 8, I was staying with a bully. You know those guys in high school, not in a bad way, ne? But most of those guys who were bullies and bosses in high school, now they are the ones who are asking for 2 rents at the robot calling us sir or brother, whatsoever. I don't know what happened, yes. But yeah, I was staying with a bully. Now the guy, luckily, he liked me, meaning that I was his ice boy. You know, whatever that he wanted, well, he would send me. And then in return, what I get is that nobody would touch me. If you touch me in high school, grade 8, you are going to explain to that guy. And then what I used to do for him, I used to do homeworks for him. Like when they give us homeworks, he didn't do any. And then now I have to go in, like school used to start at around 7. I have to go to school at 6 o'clock. Then when I go to school, I have to do his homework first. Before anything else, he's going to come around when the class has started, but he must find his homework ready. Because at home, I was unable to do 2 homeworks because my mom was going to notice because she was all over my books. She was searching everything. So I used to go early in the morning, 6 a.m., do the homework for the bully. Then when he comes, well, I give him his homework. So he used to pass because of me, you know, during that time. He used to pass because of me. So life went on. So problems started towards the end of the year. That's when problems started. Now this guy, because at the end of the year, we used to write sort of exams, in a way, like final exams in a way, you know. So before the exams, like towards the end of the year, this guy was actually, I think he was about 3 to 4 years older than me. Meaning that I actually think that he was already sexually active, to put it correct. He was 3 to 4 years older than me, but in grade 8. Same grade as me. I don't know what was happening. But I'm not going to judge him, because I've stayed in varsity for almost more than 4 years as well, you know. So, now, this guy, he started making me feel uncomfortable. Like, for example, remember, he's a bully. He's the boss of the class, probably the boss of all grade 8s. You can't tell him anything. He was already smoking at that time. He was smoking cigarettes, he was smoking weed, whatever that needs to be smoking, he was smoking. So he, sometimes in class, when we're sitting in class, he would put his leg on my legs. Like his big leg, he would put it on my tiny legs. And I would keep quiet because I can't do anything about it, And then sometimes he would brush my thighs in class. Remember, the tables were those ones which are hidden. You can't really see what's happening behind. And then it started making me feel uncomfortable in a way. Because at that time, I was not sexually active, I would say. I was not into dating. Like, I didn't even understand what was going on, I think. So he was brushing me. Initially, basically, I would say it's sexual abuse. Coming to think of it now. You see, all these people who abused me, I think I must go for them one by one. I remember all their names. Actually, I must go for them one by one. So, yeah. So he used to brush me, and I would feel uncomfortable, And then sometimes after school, he would ask me not to leave, And then when I don't leave, I would do assignments for him. And then sometimes he would like randomly kiss me on the thing here. Don't get me wrong. He never kissed me on the lips, and I never kissed him, But those were the things which made me hate grade 8. Like, I wanted the year to get done because I feel like, you know what, this is not okay. But that was actually sexual abuse. But don't get me wrong, I was never raped. I was just touched where I was uncomfortable, And yeah. So it happened. Now, towards the year end, Vele exams were about to start. Now, with exams, here's what the principal did. When it was time for exams, the principal actually mixed us. He thought he was gonna stay with me, so that so that he can copy my answers. But the exams, the principal mixed us, Vele. So almost all the exams, he was staying far away from me. I was happy. So I wrote my exam successfully, and then I passed, and then he failed. Now, the last time I saw him was when we were fetching the reports in December, and he told me that since I've passed and he failed, he's going to find me. So I was actually scared at the same time. What is he going to do to me? Because now he's blaming me that he failed. He's actually blaming me that he failed, And it's not my fault that the guy failed, honestly speaking. It's not my fault. Like, there's nothing that I was going to do to help him, Let me just charge my phone quickly. Apologies. Let me just charge my phone here. Yo, guys, I can't find the hole. Like, I'm trying to charge the phone here, but I can't find the hole. Okay, yeah, I found the hole. I found the hole now. So, yeah. Now, luckily, there were so many cases which were reported against him. So I think they actually dismissed him at the school. So meaning that when I was going to grade 9, he was no longer there. So that was the last time I saw that guy. Even today, I haven't seen him even today. But I'm sure he's probably in my DMs right now. If I find him, utlonyela. No, now I'm not scared of him. If I find him, utlonyamasepa. It's fine. Now, grade 2009. Oh, before that, during the progress of 2008, that's when I started this music thing, My uncle used to get hired to play at weddings. So he used to take me along. So that's when I started this music thing, I started falling in love with music during the course of 2008 when I was still in grade 8, connecting speakers and all that. So my uncle is the one who actually introduced me into this thing. And then slowly I fell in love with it. But I was not really serious at that time, obviously. Now, grade 9, February, grade 9, I went to the same school again for my grade 9. Now, my mom did the same thing that she did the previous time, which was to pay school fees for the whole year via a loan. So she took another loan, maybe, I don't know what happened. Then she paid school fees for the whole year, and then she was paying everything bit by bit, you know. Now, grade 9, February 2009. Remember, 2009, I was still staying in a shack at that time, you know. So there was a bash at school. And then at that bash, they said that they are looking for sound. So immediately when I heard the class prefect say that they are looking for sound, I went to the teacher, the class teacher. He used to like me a lot because I used to be smart, you know. And then I told him that my uncle actually has sound that you can hire, you understand? And then the school agreed. And then I when I went home, I told my uncle. Now the problem was that my uncle was working at that time. So because he has trained me around 2008 to connect the sound, to play using Visual DJ, to operate the computer. So he actually sent the whole sound system to the school without his presence. And then I was actually the one who was playing. Like I don't remember if it was Valentine's Bash or what, but it was around February. So I was playing for the whole school. So that's when I actually started falling in love with being a DJ. Like 2009 when I was playing with Visual DJ. It was quite a dope event. It was nice. I really enjoyed it. I remember everything there. And then after the Monday after, because obviously the event was on a Friday, the Monday after, I was starting to be the popular guy in school. You know, being the popular guy in high school used to be lit. I don't want to lie, you know. So I started being the popular guy in grade 9. So most people who were with me in grade 8, they actually said that I'm actually cool. They didn't think that of me because I was under the wing of a bully. I was not allowed to make friends. I was only allowed to be friends with the bully, only. If he sees me with any other kid, that kid will get beaten. He didn't want anything to do with me, you know. So after that, I started being famous in school, you know. I'm famous and all that. I didn't even have a name that time. Maybe I think I was DJ Kgopotso. Yeah, that time maybe I think I was something along those lines. And then now, not knowing that this is gonna affect me, that's when my studies were actually affected. So in class, I would draw Visual DJ. I would imagine myself playing music, being a DJ. I will start dreaming, man. Like in class, I would lose concentration, draw not CDJs, but Visual DJs, related things, or music in general, you know. And that actually affected my schoolwork. So March, term 1, I failed. Grade 9, I failed. Term 2, which was in June, I failed again in grade 9, you know. And then my mom was actually concerned what's going on with ngwana gagwe, you know. September, term 3, I failed. Now, September, something happened. September, after I failed for the 3rd time, going towards the last term now, I remember I was coming back from school. Ne? I came back from school. I was going home. So when I got home, remember, a shack is always hot when it's hot, and a shack is always cold when it's cold. So a shack can adapt to any nature. So I got home, we knocked off early, I think, on that day. So I got home, and then there was only one bed in the shack. So I wouldn't say I had my own bed. I was actually sleeping on the ground, you know, at that time. Just besides my parents' small single bed. Their bed was a single bed, by the way. It was not a big bed at that time. Even today, I still ask my mom, how did they fit on that small bed. Doesn't make sense, But yeah. So it was hot. The shack was hot. I took off my uniform and then I got naked. Right? I got naked. And then there was just a small mirror. And then I was just thinking about my dreams as a musician or as a DJ, And then at that time, I was playing with my dick, just playing, scratching it. Remember what I said? I said that I'm stupid. I will not hide anything. So I was playing with my dick, man. Just rubbing it, playing with it. I keep in mind, I didn't know what I was doing. I was just thinking about myself as a DJ. So I was brushing my dick and all that. Grade 9, 2009. So after a few minutes, I started feeling something. I'm like, no, man. You know what? This is starting to feel nice. It's starting to feel good. Then I started grabbing it now, grabbing my dick full, 100%. And then I did the things, First time, and I did the things. And then it was starting to feel good, It was starting to feel good. And then I think I came, but nothing came out. Do you know, gents, now I'm talking to you, you know this. You know the feeling of coming. But at that time I came, but nothing came out. No sperm, zero. Like nothing, zero sperm, zero. And then after that, I was like, yeah, man, damn it. And like I'm intelligent. I'm fucking intelligent. I'm fucking intelligent. Hi. No, and like I'm smart. So in my head, that was my first time, remember. In my head, I didn't, honestly, we grew up without internet. So I didn't know most things about sex, masturbation and all that. I didn't know most things. So in my head, I actually thought that I'm intelligent. In my head, I was like, I'm actually the first guy who has ever done this in the world. So I was thinking of ideas that, okay, maybe the news people can come and I sell them the experiment. Or maybe I can go to the radios and tell them the experiment so that they can tell other people. To me, I thought I was unique. Laban? A week passed. I was doing it every day. Every day after school, I would do it. Sometimes when my parents are sleeping at night, remember I'm sleeping on the ground. They're sleeping on the bed, single bed. I'm sleeping on the ground. I just don't know whether when they were sleeping on the single bed, were they side by side, with each other, or one was on top of the other. I don't know the details, but I was on the ground. I would do it. They're on top. Very smart, because that was like my technique. Like that was my discovery, my biggest discovery. I've never heard of anybody who has ever done that in my life. So there was this, there's this other cousin of mine. Now this other cousin of mine, I spent almost all my life with him, almost. So he used to stay with my grandmother. Immediately after I left to stay with my parents, he went to stay with, with my grandmother. So weekend came and I went to visit my grandmother and the boy was there. He's of my age. And then I called him by the side. And then I'm like, that was 2009. I'm like, boy, there's something I need to tell you. And I think we can actually be billionaires, No, it's not Vincent. It's not Vincent, by the way. We can actually be billionaires. And I was like, he's like, okay, I'm listening. And I'm like, come, let me show you. We went to the toilet and then I took off my dick and I started doing things. So I want you guys to understand, because to some people, it might be weird to follow me today Then tomorrow I'm talking about masturbation. You're asking yourself, what's wrong with this guy? So this thing started long time ago, and I love it. It's my invention even today. So I started showing him. So when I showed him, he laughed at me. You know that thing you think somebody doesn't know something. So after that, it's telling me that, boy, when you are very slow. You started this thing in 2009. Now I've been doing it from 2008. Then I got angry at him. I got angry at him. Not that he knows my secret because he started before me, but I got angry at him that he knew this thing before me but didn't bother telling me about it. So now I had to find out on my own that on my own. You understand? So I got angry at him, but eventually we worked around it. So that's when I actually discovered masturbating, you know? And in my head, like masturbating was my invention. I don't know why the fuck would I think that I'm the first person in this world to masturbate, you know? So after that, that's when I actually started normal wet dreams, wet dreams. But there's only one problem with wet dreams. That's why I don't like wet dreams. The problem that I have with wet dreams, especially if you're in Limpopo, they say that if you wake up and you find yourself, because I remember this other time when I woke up when I was bathing, going to school, still towards grade 9, 2009, when I was doing grade 9, my underwear was a bit sticky, My underwear was a bit sticky. It was a bit sticky. That simply means that I had a wet dream and I came, but I don't remember anything. So the problem with coming from Limpopo, they say that if you have a wet dream, there was a witch who was busy with you the whole night. So I started worrying that, man, you see, these witches, during the night, they are actually busy with me. They are raping me now. I don't like this thing because I want to come on my own. I want to make myself calm, So that's when I discovered wet dreams and all that. It's part of growing up, And my cousin, there was, remember, may her soul rest in peace. There was a pastor by the name of Pastor Irene. She passed on, by the way. There was Pastor Irene and there was a couple of pastors, these pastors who are praying for people. So this other time we were watching their channel, and then they were saying that if you masturbate, it's a demon. There's a demon inside you which is masturbating you. And then I started being scared that, fuck, I have a demon. Hey. But at the same time, I'm like, I have a demon. I'm like, oh, fuck, I love that demon because it makes me feel good. And then the pastor will go on and say, yes, the demon will make you think what you're doing is right and it will make you feel good. If you are masturbating, touch the screen, I will pray for you. My cousin started first. He touched the screen. After touching the screen, he fell on the ground. I woke him up. He didn't wake up. Next, for maybe almost 5 minutes or so. And then after he woke up, I asked him, boy, what happened? He doesn't remember anything. And then he asked me what happened. I'm like, the pastor said, if you are masturbating, touch the screen. And you touched the screen. Now I didn't. And then you fell and fainted. And then I started believing in these miracle things from that point, And he said to me that, you know what, boy? From this moment onwards, I no longer want to masturbate. I'm stopping this thing because it's a demon. Remember, I didn't touch the screen. Even today, I never touched the screen. I didn't want to faint. Because personally, I love that demon. It's nothing. Personally, now I love that demon. If you say it's a demon, it's fine. I'm happy with it. I get to know you are happy with your own. None, I'm happy. So he said that, okay, I will I've stopped masturbating. It's best you stop masturbating. Then I said, okay, I will stop. Then after that, I didn't stop. I continued. I got a night they didn't pay for me. I continued. I masturbated left, right, center. Sometimes I would do it 3 times a day until my dick is even painful now. I would only stop when the dick is painful or when it's scratched. Because, sometimes when you masturbate, there are methods of masturbating. There's like making love type of masturbation. That is like the slow motion one. You're feeling yourself, you're brushing yourself. You don't really need anybody to make you happy. You can actually make yourself happy. You guys are dramatic. You're brushing yourself and all that. And then there's this other one whereby you're on it, There's this other one whereby today you are telling yourself that, you know what? Today I'm going to tear this dick apart. Today I'm going to do rough sex. And unfortunately, I used to love rough sex through masturbation. You know that one? But it used to, my dick would be painful after that. And that's the one which made me, the one which I used to enjoy the most. Unfortunately, that's the one which I used to enjoy the most. So time went by. In my head, that cousin of mine stopped masturbating. Then we went to 2010. 2010, I was still on it, right? Now, December, when I got my results for grade 9, my mom was extremely disappointed. Actually, in grade 9, I got condoned. Have you guys heard of what we call a condone? Guys, just in case the live stops, just know that we have reached a maximum of 1 hour, and I will come back with part 2 some other day. Just keep awake around this time. I'll come back next time with part 2. Just in case the live ends, don't be surprised. Ne? It will be a maximum of an hour. So, grade 9, my mom was disappointed because I got condoned. Condoned simply means that I didn't pass the way she expected me to pass. Literally, I failed. They just condoned me to go to grade 10 because of space. Something like that. I didn't pass the way I was supposed to pass my grade 9, because I used to be the cool kid in school. I started masturbating a lot. Instead of studying, I used to masturbate, which I was happy. It made me happy. And then I would go to these gigs with my uncle. I would think more about making music, being a DJ and all that, So my mom was disappointed, especially because she took loans for me to study at a private school, right? And then all I did was to play the whole year. And remember, if I fail, then it simply means that she's going to be paying for the same thing this following year, you understand? So my mom made a decision that she's going to take me to a public school. So I was sad, but at the same time, I didn't blame her that much. Because I've brought this on myself, So now I had to go to a to a public school, grade 10. Now, grade 2010, that's when I was going for my grade 10. Now, 2010, that was the time World Cup was in South Africa, if you can remember. That's like 10 years ago. So I went to my grade 10 in Lolo High School, that is in Begersfort. So I was not happy about the school. The only thing that made me happy about the school was that one of my best friends since from birth was gonna be studying with me. Like the last time I saw him or studied with him in the same school was in primary. So we were going for the high school together now. So that's the only thing which made me happy. So we started there. So when we went to grade 10, I sat down with my parents and they asked me, Kgopotso, what do you want to become? And then I told them that I want to become a DJ. My father was super disappointed in me, My mom was angry at me. They asked me again, what do you want to become? I said, I want to become a DJ. Then they asked me one simple question. Look at all the local DJs. Is there any DJ that you see who has his own house or his own car in the hood? And I was like, no. And then they said, then why would you want to become like any of these guys? You know? And that time it made sense. I mean, like, there was no local DJ who seemed to make it at that time, you know? And I was a bit discouraged with that career. And then they asked me to put it on hold or forget about the career. I was like, okay, it's fine. I will do so. Then they said that when I go to, they want me to be a doctor at least, or a lawyer, or a nurse, whatsoever. You know, those normal decisions which our parents want to make for us. Then when I went to I think we spent about a week before choosing a career. I agree, you know, in grade 10, you get to choose whether you want to do commercial stream, you want to do the science stream, the geography things, and what. Now, when I went to grade 10, I've heard rumors that science is for intelligent people and science is difficult. So the one which is better is commercial stream. So I took commercial stream. Not that I had any plans of being anything in the commercial stream. I just took it because I didn't want anything that's gonna make me work hard. So my grade 10 started. Now my grade 10 started. That's going to be part of part 1. Remember, this is like part 0. I covered it from birth, basically till present, you know. So unfortunately, I've come to the end of part 0. Unfortunately, I've come to the end of part 0. Part 1 I will pick it up from grade 10, when I was actually doing grade 10. Now, all the things that I've told you, they're in the book. Remember, I told you guys that I'm busy with a book right now. They're in my book. Now, the book has more details. So here I'm just giving you guys an overview and you understand? Yeah. So the book has almost everything. But don't worry, I will tell you guys the book on this live sessions and so forth going forward. So I will do part 1 some other time. Maybe tomorrow, or I don't know when. Yeah, maybe tomorrow, I don't know when. But I'll post it on my stories. I'll actually post it on my stories for part 2. You know, so that was just about it from birth. In case you just joined, I actually started from birth till grade 10. You know, there were so many interesting things, you know, about my childhood, you know, and those are the things which actually, I'm sure most of you guys are asking themselves, why do I still wear slippers? Why don't I look like other Forex traders wearing the Gucci, the suits and all that, you know? It's because of how I grew up, you know? I've learned to always be myself. Regardless of the circumstances, I've learned to always be myself all the time. That's why even today I'm still comfortable. I can assure you, you guys take me as a celebrity, partially, you know, and most celebrities are masturbating, but they will never tell the public that they're masturbating. Nah, I'm that type of a guy who doesn't compromise because of what people will think or what people will say about me. I'm always me. It's more like it's either you accept me as I am or you fucking move on. Simple. You know, especially if you are not there for me when I was still down in life. So I kind of want to do things just to impress you. You know what I'm saying? You know? So most people, they find it weird to talk about such things. Hey, I'm masturbating. They think people will lose that respect. Nah, If you respect me, you must respect the real me. Better real respect than the fake one, people. Mina, I don't go around the bushes. Straight, pa. Maybe that's why to some people I still seem weird. I'm not weird, I'm real. Most people on social media, they're pretending to be these perfect people. Perfect. Everything is perfect. Now my life is as raw as I present it to you guys, And when you say, Coach, you inspire me, I want you to mean it in a sense, you know who's the person who inspires you. You guys, I'm sure you are following these celebrities, but you have never seen them off makeup. Without makeup, you have never seen them. But you're busy saying, hey, mama, you inspire me, you inspire me. You're following these celebrities, you inspire me. You don't even know what they've been through or what they're going through, because they are not presenting that to you guys. They're presenting to you guys the fleshy lifestyle, I'm gonna do both. I'm gonna remind you where I come from. Then I'm gonna show you. Remember, when I show you my current lifestyle, to me it's not fleshy. To me it's my life. You understand? Especially because it's not like I've hidden anything in terms of who I am or how I made it. It's only fleshy when a person comes to you and say, yeah, I've bought an RS7, I've bought a G63, you know what I'm saying? But you don't really know where that person comes from. Now, I'm always reminding you guys where I come from all the time, That's just the real me. So I want you guys to understand and know who you're following, So that in the history of books, you will say there was this guy. This guy takes everything as raw as it is, That's why even today, PR companies, they fail to control me, because I'm going to tell you, that's one of the reasons why I no longer have a reality show on TV. Having a reality show on national television is nonsense. Most reality shows on television, they are nonsense. I'm telling you, I've been there. Even though the reason why mine was no longer there on television is because of finances. The channel didn't pay us our money. And because we were not desperate for TV, we said, fuck you. Then we parted ways, right? But I can assure you, most reality shows, they're fake. So the channel wanted us to be these people that we are not. You understand? For example, starting with the name, FBK Millionaires, They wanted to send a message that we are FBK Millionaires. We are all about nice cars, nice lifestyle, girls, all over. We are living the life. But what are you going to learn by me coming to your television with a G63 that you don't know how did I even get it? What are you going to learn from having to see me drive an RS7 where else you don't even know where I started? So I'm all about showing you where I started, because when I show you my present, my present lifestyle, I'm not flashing. It's my life. When I'm asking you which car am I supposed to buy, I'm going to buy it. I'm not acting. It's my life. I afford to live it. I deserve it because I've worked hard for it. You understand? Yeah. So those people, they wanted us to turn into this people that we are not, do these things which you can, if you can check, most reality shows have one thing in common: the lifestyle. It's almost perfect. A person wakes up with makeup. What the fuck is that? How can it be a reality show but a person is with a makeup already in jail? The reason why I agreed going to television was because I wanted to show you guys, or I would say talk about what I've been through and then showing you my present. Unfortunately, everything was twisted. That's why even today the media twisted everything, but it's fine. It's part of life. I guess there's nothing I can do about it, you know. So I wanted to show you guys raw trading, how we trade, how when we trade we lose, how we lose money when we trade, you know, because it's not just about making money. Now, here's the funny thing. Everything which involves trading, which was the whole purpose of the show, it was captured, but it was never put in any episode. That's when I told my manager that, you know what, these people are fucking with us. On top of that, they owe us money. On top of that, they're twisting everything. Now they're turning us into these characters that we are not. Now we are all about showing people that we have money. I know. Having money is not what we are going to pretend to impress you. We don't live our lives to impress anyone. Having money is our current life. It's reality right now. But we want you to understand how we got to where we are. That's the most important process. You understand? So don't be fooled by most reality shows you see. Everything, 90% of the things that you see there are scripted. That's just the truth. 90% of the things that you see there, they are scripted. Myself and ST, Vincent ST, we used to be the most difficult characters. When they tell us that, coach, you must go and find a slave queen, I used to say, fuck you, no, I'm not going there. And then they will only bind me by the contract, and they, but you signed contract. You know, I'm like, okay, it's fine, but I will not do it. I do me, you know. And many people don't understand the purpose behind that. But with time, slowly people will adjust, man. You know, because the last thing I want is to come in front of you guys and sell you guys dreams. You know, the only thing that I want is to be unique. Is to know that coach has money, but behind coach's money, there's actually more sad stories than the good ones. The reason why that scene is very important is because I know for sure that whenever you go through something, you're going to relate. That if I'm going through an emotional abuse in school or varsity, all these chess boys, they're flaunting and flashing in front of me because their parents are rich. Coach has been through that before. That's gonna keep your spirit going, you understand? That's the agenda that I'm trying to push in the industry regardless, you know? Even myself, presenting myself as a DJ right now, it's not something that I started last year. It's something that I started from way back, 2008. But unfortunately, when you don't have money, nobody takes you serious. Now, when I have to shoot a music video, I'm not borrowing anyone's car. I'm not borrowing anyone's house. I'm not asking anyone for sponsorship. You understand? That is just the dream lifestyle I've ever had. Whatever that I wanted to invest in when it comes to my life, I don't need anyone's permission. Trust me, having to depend on people for something, it's nonsense. Linda, myself included. Truth of the matter is, I will not help you if I don't benefit. That's just the truth, unfortunately. You know, it's better than me having to stand in front of you guys and I'm like, hey, I'm going to help you guys. No. I will help somebody who shows that, you know what, there's potential. Or I will help somebody whom I know that at the end of the day, I will benefit something. There's nothing for free, guys. Once you start getting that through your head, that you need to work hard for every fucking shit you achieve in your life. And the sad part about it is that when you work hard for your nonsense, 0%, nobody's there. When you're on top, everybody's here. Now they are concerned. How did you make your money? You know, how did you make your money? Who are you to drive a G63 at the age of 25? Who are you? You know, it's because the society has been condemned in that mindset that a black child can't make it through hard work of some sort. I don't know how to put this, but yeah, it's like once you go beyond what people have imagined, then you deserve to be investigated. But I can assure you right now, people, if you want to achieve with whatever plans that you have in your life, first step, keep quiet. People, keep quiet if you want to achieve. When you have achieved, there is nothing they can do to stop you. That's why I came to the live and I asked people that, you know what, I want to buy a small car that's just in jail for control. Then there's somebody who doesn't like what I said, but there's nothing they can do about it. I mean, what can you do to stop me from buying the car? Will you say I must not buy it? Are you the garage? If you own a garage and close yours, I will go to the next garage. You are not going to stop. So before you make it, keep quiet. After you make it, banyise, batonyela, one by one. Because after you make, there's a difference between talking before you make it and talking after you made it. That's where people get to miss the puzzle. I talk because there's nothing you can do or say to stop me. That's why bosizwe babuleti barogana Twitter barafaka number 1 barogana, they tarnished our names, even the channel itself, they tarnished our names, everything. Today I'm still here and I'm asking you guys, which car should I buy? And I'm going to buy it. I'm going to buy it. Whether they like it or not, I'm going to buy it. There is nothing they can ever do to stop me now. It's only the one above who can stop me. There is no human being. It's only God. God, the one who gave me this knowledge, is the only one who can stop me. But before you make it, keep quiet in Chaga. Work underground. Pusher. Because witchcraft is not only through muti. Witchcraft is through words. What people are doing to me out there, it's witchcraft. I mean, how can you say... Let's start there. I was watching this other show. There was this other show, Checkpoint, on ETV. Someone asked me to watch it. I was watching it this past week. Now, there was this people who got scammed through Forex trading investments, of which is one thing that I never do, or that I will never do in my life, right? Now, along the process of the comments, people were dragging my name. They're like, yeah, another scammer is this one. They're pointing me. But if you can take a look, if you can bring those people forward, if I can have one-on-one conversation with them, I'm talking about me now. I'm not talking about Forex traders or other traders. I don't care about them. I don't care how they did their stuff. I don't care how they work. I'm talking about me. If you get to ask that person, or when you say coach has scammed you, how did coach scam you exactly? When you ask that person that question, they don't have an answer. They will say, hi, yeah, those things don't exist. It's just a scam, right? And that's the first sign of witchcraft starts there. First sign of witchcraft. And remember, for the mere fact that you were not there when I was hustling alone, immediately once you say that about me and I see it, I'm going to kneel down. I'm going to pray to the God, the God who gave me this life. I will say, God, my enemies are talking again. Please deal with them. I'm telling you, poverty will be upon you for the rest of your life. You see this? People, let me give you an advice. You see, as people, we believe in different religions, different spiritual matters and so forth. And some of us, the more you talk bad about us, is the more we kneel down and pray for you. And the God that we pray will deal with you. So don't be surprised when things don't go your way. It's because of this. Now, if only, I use this. I use my tongue to kiss. Number one. I use my tongue to lick whatever I'm licking. Whether it's a nipple or it's whatever I'm licking. Whatever that I'm licking, that's what I use my tongue for. I would never use my tongue to badmouth another person who has never done anything wrong to me. I don't think all these people that are talking bad about me specifically have done anything bad. Some of them I've never even talked to them, but they hate me already. I pray for them. God will deal with them. I'm telling you. So please, if you are a hustler, watch what you say with your mouth. Because some of us, we are not praying humans, people. Some of us, we are not praying humans. After you hurt my feelings, remember, like people, your celebrities. I mean, a celebrity, a whole full-grown cheese boy, just comes out of nowhere and discredit your whole hard work. I mean, where the fuck were they all these years when I was poor? Where were they? Nowhere to be found. But they just come and then they discredit all your work. But I guess that's part of life. I mean, it's part of life. So if you are a hustler, don't be like those people. Right? If you are a hustler, learn to keep quiet about your tongue. Just hold your tongue and keep on pushing. Then when you make it, that's when you can talk. You understand? When you make it, that's when you can talk. When I go to somewhere around part 3 or part 4 on my story, that's when you'll get to understand why I'm talking too much now. It's because I've been quiet for too long, people. I've been oppressed for too long. I've been oppressed. I've been keeping quiet for too long. Now enough is enough. Now batlonya. One by one, batlonya. Whatever, no one can stop me. It's only God. And even if God stops me, it's because He wants to save me at some point. There is no human being that's going to stop me. They will keep on talking. But for the mere fact that they were never there for me. I mean, when I started this life, I explained how I grew up. I don't understand how somebody who had the opposite life gets to undermine my hustle. Just because they've had it better in life, just because they've had their rich parents take care of them and all that. That's one thing I don't think I'll ever understand. And I would say my biggest fear right now, I have a huge fear towards how my son is going to be. I don't know how he's going to turn out to be, but I really hope that when he grows up, he will develop this mentality that my father worked hard for this nonsense. Therefore, just because I'm privileged to go to high school with a Bentley doesn't mean that I should go there and swear at other people who have done nothing wrong to me. Now I can never swear to anybody who has done nothing wrong to me. Trust me. If I say you will die poor, it's because you started me. If you start me, I will deal with you. I have too much anger. I'm very, very angry. Very, very angry. Because you are not there. I was alone. Very alone. Very, very alone. So I hope my son will get to understand that my dad has worked hard for this. Even though I'm a cheese boy, I don't have a problem with cheese boys. I don't have a problem with that. But I want cheese boys need to understand to respect other people's hustles. If you have seen me attack anyone, they started me first. Always know that. And I've been quiet. And I love my anger issues. I'm very angry. I've been quiet for too long. Now come with your tendencies. I will take you up there and put you on the ground with immediate effect. Yeah. So nonetheless, part 0 was actually nice. So what I will do, I will try to save the video on the timeline. Sorry, but after a day or two, I think I'm going to remove it. So I'm just gonna save the video on my timeline, so you can watch it from the beginning in case you are not here. But I hope that me telling you how I was born, how I grew up. Remember, Forex is not involved in my process of from birth till where I stopped, which was in 2012. Forex only started in 2016. Now you'll get to understand how I got to develop into being a new character, you know. I've had multiple characters. It's development, you know. It's development. It's part of life, you know. So you'll get to understand, so that when you see me tomorrow, if you see me driving the most expensive car or living in the most expensive house, you must understand that this guy used to get naked in front of class just so you could get able to eat. And he was being abused by the same cheese boys. These cheese boys, they started with me when I was poor. Now they're here. I will deal with them one by one. I will deal with them. And the only way to deal with them is to get more and more successful. When they think you are down and out, you hit them with the lightning. You show them that you will always talk. But the God that I'm praying does not wear a trouser. You know? So nonetheless, thank you guys. Thank you guys for having me today. I will see you guys some other time. When I go to part 1, whereby I will be starting from 2010. 2010, going to wherever I will stop, I don't know. So thank you guys for watching, and may the God bless your hustle. May the God bless you for taking your time watching my nonsense, because I know I talk nonsense most of the time. That's just the real me. That's just the part of who I am. I really can't pretend into being something that I'm not. So nonetheless, thank you guys for the advices in terms of the car that you think I should buy. From next week going forward, I will come with it alive. And when I do, always remember that it's for inspirational purposes, because I actually love how people react to how I inspire them. Otherwise, I could wake up tomorrow and go buy a car without telling you guys, you know. I want you guys, because you are not part of my journey before, I want you guys to form part of my journey currently, you know, so that when things go hard on your side, of which they will get hard, trust me, all the time. Even Lena, going forward with my story, I will share sensitive stuff. You'll get to see that my life is not as perfect as you see it on social media, or as perfect as you used to see it on national television the time we had a reality show, or even as perfect as you see it on the YouTube version of the reality show, you know. So I want you guys to connect with me throughout each step of the way, you know, because I've noticed that the more people say thank you for inspiring us, is the more God blesses me more. You know, that simply means that I'm doing a better job than the pastors who are promising you guys miracles. Even though you guys love miracles, that's the problem which you are having. Even with Forex, you want to have miracles. I don't know if you're not learning anything with what I've been through in this game, you know, but you just want miracles all the time. Hi. But yeah, nonetheless, thank you guys for having me today. It's 4 o'clock in the morning. 4 o'clock in the morning. You guys have time, ne? So yeah, thank you guys for watching me throughout this time. So now I have to masturbate. I have to masturbate so that I can sleep. Remember, if masturbation is a demon, then I love that demon. It makes me happy. You know, I don't need prayers. You can pray for me from a distance, it's fine, but I'm happy. So that's just who I am. I'm confident about everything that I do. But nonetheless, the support that you've shown FBK throughout the years, you know, I appreciate that. You know I speak crap most of the time, but it comes from a good heart, you know. So thank you guys for being with us. Thank you guys for supporting us, defending us against witches all the time. You know, we will always appreciate that. We do see every little detail, you know. And to all the hustlers, all the best to you guys. You know, may the God or may the Lord bless all your hustles throughout your journey. Nonetheless, if I'm going to be doing part 2 today, later on, I'll probably do it around, I might probably do it around, kind of what do I have? Probably around 11. Yeah, probably around 11 p.m. Yeah, 11 p.m. That's when I'm going to be doing the live. Yeah, I'll probably do it around 11 p.m. So, yeah, nonetheless, may the Lord bless you and thank you guys. Have a blessed night. God bless. Tata.